Welcome, everyone, to Progressive Discussions. I'm your host, Commandante James, a.k.a. James P. Madonna, and I'm with my second original co-host. That's right. After the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman, I'm with the one and only progressive Mick Von Raven. After a long period of absence, welcome back.
A long breakaway, and reasons to come back, I think they're obvious.
Black Friday 2020, the year of the doomsday year, the pandemic pandemonium, 2020, Black Friday. It is right now, and I'm with a blast from the past, Mick Von Raven, and the God rest his soul, Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman, and Mick Von Raven, the best co-host I ever had, and this guy is a true progressive. So I'm happy you're back. And
here, James, I like the format.
Knock on wood, God willing, we'll have a nice long series of truth, of hard-hitting truth. The other dude that was co-hosting with me was a pretend progressive.
Oh, those are the worst kind, because they'll turncoat on you and run tail when things get hard.
Well, he was one of those Second Amendment moderate. Well, he said he was moderate. He said he was a socialist, but I didn't believe it. He was one of those libertarian constitutionalists, and he was more centrist to right libertarian, as opposed to Jesse Ventura, who's a left-wing libertarian. And he didn't believe in social distancing and masks and
denial. Yeah, that's a great thing. You can deny what? Let's deny the Holocaust.
And he denied
the moon landing, deny COVID-19, deny the election results. Deny.
Yeah, I got suspicious when he kept saying COVID-19 was a hoax.
Oh, the dead bodies will kind of disagree with you, you know. Yeah, there's it didn't die COVID, it was something else. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he said it was it was a scam for the government to control the population, and they want to put he said 5G radiation from the 5G towers that they're putting up are a way to control our mind.
Your former co-host?
Yeah, he was saying this 5G radiation is going to control, the government wants to control our minds.
Leave him in your rearview mirror. He sounds like a Yahoo.
The vaccine has the chip. They're gonna sneak the chip.
Yes.
They're gonna chip us, and not Chips Ahoy chocolate chip.
Not any chip you'd be looking for with that chip.
So when they say red flags,
Yeah,
They pop up and they're big, and these red flags had neon lights in them.
sounds like it.
Yeah, so he was no far left wing socialist. He was and he was a fanatical Second Amendment gun collector. And let's see, we got okay.
Guns will never be taken away from the people. I have no idea why people act like that's a thing. It's not.
I mean, an automatic military weapon. I mean, because they always think that big government is evil and out to control them and throw them into FEMA camps with barbed wire. Meanwhile, it's like the oligarch, which is corporate controlled fascism. That's what fascism is, corporate control. The top 1%, the oligarch, they're the ones that are paying off the politicians in Washington. They're the ones that try to rig elections. They're the ones that want to control the population and bring back slavery.
Like the Koch brothers, or now it's just Charles Koch, right? The other Koch died.
Yeah, whatever you want. You want to say George Soros. You want to say with the one Koch brother.
Some people are trying to say now Bill Gates is in on that level. You've heard that, right? That
Well,
conspiracy theory.
Well, he's oligarch material.
Yeah.
He's oligarch material. But you're talking about the tip top of the 1%. And these are the ones that have been around for a long time. And they want to, they want to occupy the world to, in my opinion, to steal their natural resources because of greed, because capitalism is, according to me, is the devil's economics. And they want, this is why we have over 800 military bases, U.S. military bases throughout the world. They say, oh, we got to keep the peace. Yeah, my ass. They're there to steal the natural resources, oil, and whatever.
Have you noticed anyone that's a denier has never been directly involved with COVID, with a mass shooting, with an abortion of their own? There are always people that are never involved, and they're always, oh, I'm so vehemently against it. Tell me your experience with it. Well, none, but this is my opinion. It's always the same. It's never someone that survived any of these things and came through the other end with an opinion. It's always someone that has never touched it, never been involved, just developed their own opinion right then and there, a snap decision. And it's always the same thing. Oh, that's not real. That's not this. That's a fake news, fake news. You know, it gets very tiring. I'm tired of people that constantly put down this, that, oh, they're going to take our guns. They're not. They're just trying to keep guns out of the hands of nuts, like the guy in Las Vegas. You know, oh, they're killing babies. Well, here's the thing. The babies that are born into poverty, nobody seems to want them. But if they're unborn, they love them. It's the strangest thing.
Oh, you're absolutely right. They fight like hell to protect the life of the fetus and the embryo, and even the cuckoo birds, even the fertilized egg. But once you're born, they can care less about you.
Yes, and they don't care if you were raped incestuously or whatever. Have that child. We want that child.
Yeah, they want that. They want that child. But once you're born, unless you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth and you're a rich kid, they can care less about you. Once you're born, you're a moocher. Once you're born, the baby is a moocher, unless it's a rich kid. And this is that hypocrisy of the right wing.
The woman that was just appointed as the Supreme Court, Amy, is going to overturn Roe versus Wade under what pretense? That she doesn't believe in it, a woman's choice?
I mean, she probably wants to close Planned Parenthood, which is the only source that poor women, low-income women, have to get health care. And you know what? A fertilized egg is no more a human baby than an acorn is an oak tree. It's a potential life. It's not a baby. It's a potential life. But these people, like that lunatic right-wing girl that was young woman that was running for Congress from the state of Delaware, she wanted to make it. Now get this. She wanted to make it illegal for men to masturbate because they were murdering sperm spermatozoa.
What was she going to do? Go around and service them all?
How are you going to enforce? How do you know when men are jerking off in their home or apartment?
Like that fellow that did it on Zoom, I could be jerking off right now for all you know.
Yeah, you don't know unless your body's going.
That's a subject. Oh. I got fired, by the way, for jerking off on camera.
Now, how insane! Of course, she didn't get elected, but because she was nuts. I think when a person screams out, "Sin, lust is in your heart, pornography, lust," like Jimmy Swaggart.
They've got that stuff in their lives, and they're trying to take it out on you, is what it is. I hate homos is because secretly they're homosexual and hate themselves, I believe.
Remember the TV evangelist Jimmy Swaggart that was saying, "Lust, ooh, sin, ooh," and he was picking up prostitutes on the highway.
Exactly.
I mean, anybody who blows a big blowhorn of hot air, beware that the skeletons are ready to fall out of their closet.
Well, they accuse others of what they're actually doing. It's the strangest thing. Don't do that. It's horrible. It's funny. There's been a few that are anti-homosexual, and then they find out they've had relationship with men. I mean, that's their lives, but don't go around bashing gay men.
When you point the finger at other people, you don't realize there's three fingers pointing
at you. Exactly.
At you. And usually these are the biggest hypocrites, the ones that blow their own gas bag.
I tell you one thing, the Republicans are the kinkiest bunch I've ever freaking heard of, with the Jerry Falwell Jr. watching his wife getting done by the pool boy, and that Roger Stone watching it, they're into that what is that, cockholding? Yeah.
They went to Jeffrey Epstein's resort.
Oh, I'm sure men and women went there, famous men, and they said just men, but I believe many women went.
A lot of wealthy establishment politicians and a lot of oligarchy people went there. A lot of Republicans went there, but they'll hold the Bible up like Donald Trump did after he tear gassed that crowd of people off the street in Washington. He stood. That was a photo op. He stood in front of the church holding the Bible. He doesn't know a damn verse from the Bible.
What's funny, because the evangelicals have embraced him, and he's the one that killed so many by not addressing the coronavirus. Just like Reagan let so many die of AIDS before he lifted a finger.
Yeah, Donald Trump has a lot of blood on his hands when it comes to COVID-19.
And his phony episode of COVID was, you don't recover that quickly at all. He recovered miraculously in just a few days.
There were Europeans. This is what happened. I'll make it simple because New York Governor Andrew Cuomo explained it. When COVID-19 became a pandemic in Wuhan province, many Europeans were there on business, and they flew back to Europe. They took COVID-19 with them. In an airline cabin, there's a lot of recirculating air going around. They went back to Europe. Then the pandemic exploded in Europe. Then what happened was, Donald Trump has a race problem, a racial problem. He stopped all the plane flights. He blocked banned all the plane flights coming from Asia, but he didn't ban them from Europe.
Yeah.
So what happened is 2 million minimal, 2 to 3 million people flew from Europe to the United States and brought COVID-19 to the Northeast. And then someone went to the state of Washington, because they had the COVID-19 appearing in a nursing home in the state of Washington in the Pacific Northwest, which they should have blocked all exit and entry to the state of Washington. They should have done that. This is what
They also had Americans coming back from China that were not quarantined at all. They had them right through.
No quarantine, and you picture all the Europeans that came to the United States by plane, and he didn't block them because, of course, Donald Trump likes European women, especially Eastern European women. So he let all they're Caucasian, so he let all these European Caucasians with COVID-19 come to the United States, and this is what Andrew Cuomo explained happened. It's really simple common sense. Donald Trump, with his,
he's responsible for the many deaths and millions of deaths in this country.
and he knows, he's a white supremacist, and
on election day because he did not take care of this country, and all this talk of he really won. No, he didn't.
Now, there's a segue telling the folks out there how COVID-19, the pandemic, got to the United States. Now, to show you how topics and conversations kind of flow together, is that, okay, his failure to do the right thing, like I mentioned before, and the fact that he kept on calling it the China virus. Meanwhile, it was in Europe because it was the China virus because he doesn't like people of other races, and which has to do with his ridiculous wall separating Mexico from the United States. Meanwhile, the cartel was probably laughing. The Mexicans were all laughing, saying, "We have tunnels with air conditioning in it. We could tunnel under your stupid wall, and we can use a cheap ladder. We can use a extendable ladder to get over your wall," which is true. It's bullshit. So his racist colors came through. So now we're gonna get into the bewitched followers of
he could defecate on their faces and they'd say, "Wow, what a great man."
the Trumpanzees of,
oh my God,
of Trumpenstein, the Trumpenstein monster,
the lemmings that follow him into the pit.
The lemmings. Now
they just don't. He could do no wrong. He cheats, he lies, he steals. That's cool. He's great.
Well, he was right when he said he could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue and get away with it.
Well, yeah, he can do. The problem is he took the presidency in a direction it never was meant to go. He took it to be above the law. And
well, I think he used the presidency as a way to benefit his business
and to stay out of prison too, because no one wanted to touch a sitting president. Mueller hit the bed and didn't indict him. Well, let's wait till he gets out and then see what happens. And that's all I did. The election was rigged, but by who? No foreign governments were involved. That's just a spin doctor BS they're pulling. And the problem is these elections are true and real, and that's why the Trumpanzees can't accept them, because they don't. Trump's not about the truth. He's about his own ideas. If he believes it's true, then it's true in his eyes.
He's delusional. He's a narcissistic sociopath, which means he feels no remorse. He has no compassion or empathy.
Facts and truth mean nothing to him. It's frightening, and his followers are just the same. Here are the facts. Here's the truth. Then they'll just say, "Oh, that's a lie. Oh, that's fake news." Oh, he did. If you watch Bill Maher from before Trump was elected, he outlined everything Trump was doing was like a dictator. First, you make the news, you discredit the news. It's classic dictatorship. He envied many dictators. Reading Mein Kampf. What the hell? That's not American. I just don't understand. James, you've gone dead there, buddy. Well, here's the facts. There's going to be a new president, irregardless of the deniers, and we have to get this country united. I have no idea how we're going to do it, because so many of people just don't want to be united. They want to be against everything. I understand government should not dictate your whole life, but government should protect you also. So James is not with this right now, unfortunately. He seems to have been kicked off of his own live media. But here's the thing. The American people voted, and they voted for Biden because they want things back to health.
Sometimes this weird shit happens. It could be a little sabotaging from the oligarch-controlled internet.
Yeah, you were frozen there for a minute, and I had to soft shoe it for a little bit.
Yeah, we got the little circle that goes around, where they're trying to.
You didn't. You were frozen, and then you were gone. It was like kind of disturbing.
And the same thing happened to you. It could be a little sabotucci going on by the oligarch that doesn't like what we're saying. Well, guess what, oligarch? I have an itch in the middle of my forehead.
You're number one on both polls.
Oh, that scratching feels good.
Can you hear this? I'll turn it up for you.
Now, for those of you, we're talking about the Trumpanzee lemming followers of the Trumpenstein monster that do not believe in proven facts. They don't believe in science.
The one that frightens me the most is the evangelicals. You don't know the devil incarnate. You don't know you're in bed with the devil. I mean, he wasn't chosen by God. He's Satan's tool all the way, or Putin, or somebody like that.
They don't know a damn thing about what's in the Bible. The right wing, counterfeit Christian zealots,
the phonies. They're anything but. For Christians are supposed to have open hearts and love thy brother and all that. Yeah, Trump's not loving thy brother. He's only loving thy brother if he's the right race.
He's only loving people that kiss his ass, compliment him, do what he says,
look like him,
worship him, and benefit only him, because he's only concerned, like a narcissistic sociopath. He's only concerned with himself. And
his TV career is what catapulted him to the presidency. If he didn't have those TV shows, You're Fired and all that, he would have never been elected, I believe.
Celebrity Apprentice.
Yes, that's
catapulted him. And when Arnold Schwarzenegger took over, he pissed off Arnold by saying that the ratings went way down since Arnold took over, and Arnold really let him have it. And he was a Republican governor. And then he started having other Republicans go against him because they could see what he's up to. They could see what he's really about. And the presidency is just another stepping stone to benefit the finances of Donald Trump. Now, I forgot to, since it's Black Friday and my hero, Krampus Day is around the corner, as well as Festivus for the rest of us. I have the world's loudest jingle bells.
All the way.
Oh, the world's loudest jingle. I broke the thing. I got to do another.
Wow, you're going to have to re-rope it. It served you many years, I bet.
It did serve me many years.
I'm sure it did. Nice. So
I have other bells and props, but because tits the season, tits the season. Now, Mick Von Raven, for you folks out there, is from Chicago, Illinois. So we have the Midwestern Central Time connection with the Northeast here. I'm in New Jersey.
Over by there.
Yeah, I'm in Northeastern New Jersey.
I've been to New York back in, was it 2002, I think? And I got to go to the Village. That was awesome. I got to go to Coney Island.
Oh, that's when the Twin Towers were still around.
Yeah. And I drove near the Statue of Liberty. And I had some fun when I was in New York, and I was ashamed to see those towers go down. That's a whole other story. Let's not even.
Well, I am 5 minutes from the view of New York City from the Hudson River. I'm a 5-minute walk, and with my binoculars, I can see the Statue of Liberty very well.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah, I could see it very well. And
Went to Junior's in Brooklyn to get some cheesecake. That was cool.
yeah, and also Katz's delicatessen is very famous.
I don't think I made it there, but I did get to Nathan's and get a hot dog at Coney
Well,
Island.
well, Katz's delicatessen is famous for their humongous hot pastrami and hot corned beef sandwiches on rye bread.
Nice.
You know, where you get the big mountainous stack of hot pastrami.
I have to tell you a real sidebar. I had a pastrami sandwich in San Francisco. I had to throw it in the garbage.
Well, San Francisco.
Yeah, no, some seafood out there. Yeah.
They got some great craft beer in California.
Yeah.
And if you go to San Diego like I did, you can get some great Mexican food. But if you try to get anything else,
Yeah, it's all mistake. It's fugazi. It's all fake stuff. It's not. Yeah, one bite of this sandwich and right in the garbage it went. It was not a New York pastrami sandwich. I'll tell you that much.
now Chicago was a huge meat packing city at one time.
Oh, when we moved it out to Kansas City because we wanted to get rid of the smell. It smelled horrible downtown from what I heard. The stockyards where they butchered all the animals. Yeah, they moved that out. They let Kansas City take that over. Because it smelled really horrific, I heard.
I mean, they actually did a heaping helping of butchering in Chicago.
Oh yeah, what they would do is bring the animals here, butcher them, and then send them on, or keep them here and dress them and get them ready for consumption. But yeah, during they got rid of that a long time ago with good. I'm glad they did too, because it would be stinky as all hell downtown.
Oh yeah, with the blood and everything.
Yeah, and the guts and the squealing of the animals.
Yeah, what do they call the wet markets or wet? Where they butcher animals and the blood.
Yeah. Famous in China has tons of wet markets, don't they? I'm sure New York has had a few.
The Asian people have a thing for fresh killed livestock. It's got to be killed in front of me. I love animals, and I don't think I could really see an animal being dispatched, to be honest with you.
If it was a matter of you're going to eat and this animal's going to be it, and you're in a setting like that, you deal with it.
Well, if hunger is really,
let's say you're roughing it and someone catches a feral pig and says we're going to have to slaughter this pig to eat it, and you probably give a hand. So it's all based on what goes on. If you can go to the deli and get something, of course. But as far as these fresh markets, that's where you get fresh diseases. That's where the whole freaking COVID started.
Yeah, and who knows? The Wuhan viral laboratory was not far from the wet market.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about that.
We still don't know the real truth of where COVID-19 comes from. I mean, they call it SARS-2, but the lab is there. The viral lab is there, and there's a woman. A viral specialist scientist, I think she's from Hong Kong, that's hiding out in the United States or Canada because the Chinese government wants to bump her off because she is a whistleblower.
Yeah,
when it comes to COVID-19.
They want to execute anybody that knows anything. The Chinese don't mind. Many countries that don't have true democracy kill anyone that opposes them.
Well, like Dr. Anthony Fauci says, he has never in his entire life seen a virus that behaves this way. He has never seen it.
That's why it could be created, yes.
It could have been, it could be a bioweapon. It could be created in a lab for the military, and it happened to get loose. I mean, I have an open mind. It's very possible, and because who has seen a virus so contagious and it's
the whole world.
It doesn't disappear from warm weather. It was going strong in the spring and summer. It's going strong, maybe stronger now. I mean,
the word and places aren't letting you work. They're not even asking if you want to work from home where I work. It's kind of rude. They just tell you, come on in. And there's people in my business that walk around without masks on. They come from the first floor to use our washrooms, and there's no need for that. And it's very disheartening. But
I mean, Americans are very spoiled and coddled uh, um, uh, group of people, of humanoids that have had way too much freedom for too long, and they're so spoiled and coddled that, especially the right-wing rednecks that think anything from the government is bad. Anything from, anything that has to do with big government is bad. And they believe that there should be no regulations on anything. I mean, don't they realize that FDR created corporate regulations because he needed to defang the evil corporations? Because corporations will bring back slavery and child labor in a heartbeat.
Not in this country, but somewhere else, and they will pretend it doesn't exist where they're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, the Industrial Revolution with J.P. Morgan, they tried hard to have full-blown child labor, without unions and everything.
So what's our next get together we're gonna be talking about?
That's a good question. I had it down. I had it in my phone.
We'll work on it.
And I accidentally got rid of it, but we will definitely work on it. I mean, for you folks out there that don't know that Mick Von Raven is also a heavy metal rock and roll music enthusiast. He knows a lot about rock.
My record collection behind you here.
Yeah, he goes to concerts. He knows the bands. He knows a lot about rock, and
blues too.
And yeah, and we can also dabble in a little heavy-duty sexuality, a holistic approach.
Yeah, that was an interesting subject. I just got frozen.
Yeah, I hear you though.
Okay,
I hear you. It's
so.
Isn't that weird how we're being attacked, being cyber attacked?
So I think we're ready to close to sign off because we're at 32 minutes.
Oh, I got a scratch to the people that are trying to sabotage us.
I don't know. Did you hear me, Jimmy? I think we're getting ready to sign off. We're at 32 minutes.
Yeah, and I just want people to realize that
my new vape from the dispensary.
Oh wow, the vape, the medicinal vape. Oh, I want to salute the state of Oregon.
Yes.
For legalizing recreational drugs and getting it off the black market. And I want to salute my state of New Jersey for approving recreational marijuana, and may it become nationwide.
Let's hope so.
I know Colorado has it.
We got it. Illinois, Chicago has it. Illinois does it. We've had it for about a year. We need to decriminalize drugs and treat the addicts, not the major drug dealers, yeah, but the average drug dealer is a low-level nobody dealing pot. They should know. They got 25 years for dealing pot. It's insane. Well, they're with murderers and other stuff. So.
Well, these privatized prisons, to me, is nothing but legalized slavery.
That and also the college loans. Those leave people like indentured to that the rest of their lives.
Oh, they'll never pay back those student debts.
If you go declare bankruptcy, you cannot declare the student loan.
But there's no entry-level jobs for these kids to get a start when they graduate. The job market, despite what Donald Trump says, is in the shitter. It's non-existent. These kids with these student loans that graduate from college, there's no entry-level jobs to give them the experience they need. So like my sister says, I would never go to college in this day and age. It's a waste of money. She says, go to vocational school, learn a trade or something. Okay. Don't go to college and get an astronomical student debt. And you know what else is legalized slavery? When schools offer to bring in interns from schools like graduating senior students. They offer to bring them in for school credit, and they work for free. And then when they graduate, they get another busload of senior intern students to work for free.
Yeah, it's a scam.
And it's a scam. It's a revolving door. It's a scam like Trump University.
Exactly.
But you people remember that only an imbecile would believe lies that have no scientific basis behind it, no proven facts behind it. Anybody who rejects science is a natural born imbecile, and that's what all these Trumpanzees are. And I know social media is loaded with them, but thank you for watching. This is Commandante James of Progressive Discussions. I'm here with Mick Von Raven from Chicago.
And Progressive Discussions.
And Progressive Discussion. Oh, by the way, click like to Progressive Discussions Facebook page, and fuck you Facebook. Be a member of Fuck You Facebook, because that's another talk show. Mark Zuckerberg, the eagle beak.
He's got a pale look. I believe he's an android.
Yes, and Progressive Discussions is not only also on YouTube, but it's on Tumblr. Mark Zuckerberg did an interview. He did a live show on Facebook interviewing Anthony Fauci, Dr. Anthony Fauci, and he was weird, man. He didn't smile at all. He smirked. No laugh, no smile. He was like a robot. He was like stuttering, like his lips were vibrating, and he was like very unemotional and robotic. He's a weird motherfucker.
He's a weasel.
He is, and you know what he did? He took all of our personal information and sold it.
Yes, because
without our authorization.
Yes, and he didn't get in trouble for that, and he should have been fined heavily enough to shut Facebook down.
And this is a habit that I heard even Google was tampered.
And Google's been selling our stuff too. They're shameless people.
This is capitalism, the devil's economics, like Reverend Dr. William J. Eisman used to say. It's the proven devil's economics. It was rigged from day one to work for the top 2%.
Exactly.
The rich, not the 98%. It was never meant to do anything for the 98%. Nothing. Because unless you know somebody to give you a big break in life, if you're not going into that top 2%.
Exactly.
You're not. But anyway, take care of people, and I hope you don't trample anybody while you're shopping. We know that story about Black Friday, and and I hope you had a good Thanksgiving. I know I did. I
had to work today, so I had a shitty Thanksgiving.
Yeah, well, luckily my sister's a great cook, and I gorged myself, and I got drunk, and
I had to be careful what I say on social media about my work. They came out with a policy where they could fire me for saying anything.
Yeah, don't say anything about where you work or what you do or the name of the company.
They made me sign to it and agree to it. They're in control every aspect of my life.
I was never a fan of employers and corporate. My fantasy is to physically strangle corporate CEOs. like wringing a chicken's neck. Like they're scum, as my Italian grandfather used to say, scuma, they're scum.
Cheers. And good to see you all again.
Yes, bye-bye.
All right, take care. Bye-bye.
I'll talk to you on cyberspace.